All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be looking at converting between different forms of equations. Remember, there are three different types: slope-intercept, point-slope, and then standard form. So what I want you to do is go ahead and draw this table. Just sketch it. It doesn't need to be anything super fancy. So go ahead and pause the video and draw this. All right, so if you notice for this first equation, we're given slope-intercept form. So we want to change it to point-slope and standard form. I'm going to go ahead and say that from slope-intercept form, it's easiest to go to standard. So 4x plus 3y equals 12. All right, so for point-slope form, it's going to be kind of tricky because there are lots of points you can use from a line. So I'm going to go ahead and say, well, why don't we just use the y-intercept so that we can write our equation. So when I 4 equals negative 4/3 x. And of course, there would be that plus 0, but we don't need to do plus 0. The next question here is this a direct variation? That would be a no, because there is a y-intercept that is not 0, 0. Our slope would be negative 4/3. The y-intercept is 0, 4. Now we need to find the x-intercept. Remember, the x-intercept is where y is 0. So if I go back to my stance, my x-intercept is 3, 0. So see, there's a lot we can do with these different types of equations. Let's try the next one. Here we have point-slope. This one's going to be easier only because point-slope seems to be the trickiest to convert to. So since it's already in point-slope form, we can go to slope-intercept and standard form pretty easily. So let's go to slope-intercept form. Y equals 1/2 x. So right now you should be thinking, oh my, that is a direct variation. But now we need to get it to standard form. Keep going. Negative x plus 2y equals 0. So now we can talk about the y-intercept, the slope, and so on. So in this case, our slope is 1/2. The y-intercept is 0, 0, and as well as the x-intercept is also 0, 0. So that makes it a little more simple for us. So I'm going to take this equation, and first thing I'm going to do is multiply the entire thing times 3. Because remember, if we have ax plus by equals c, a, b, and c need to be integers. So I need to eliminate that fraction. So then we have 3y equals, let's see, negative 12 divided by 3 gives us a negative 4x, and then plus, oops, got excited. It'd be plus 12, okay? Now, the only thing I have to do now is add that 4x on both sides in order to move it over. So now I have 4x plus 3y equals 12. So I can go back to my table, use my y-intercept, which happens to be, when x is 0, y is 4, so that's going to be the point. So this is my x and my y, and of course my slope is negative 4/3. So we would write y minus 4 equals negative 4/3, and then we would have x plus 0 here. We really don't need that plus 0, so then it would be y minus 4 equals negative 4/3 x. So it's not much different than slope-intercept, but at least we were able to write an equation in point-slope form. So y, and I substitute 0 for y. So then we would have 4x plus 3 times 0 equals 12. So then all I have to do is divide by 4. So x equals 3. So first, let me clear some of this out here so I have some space. All right, so remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So first thing I need to do is get rid of some parentheses. So here I would have 1/2 x minus 1, right? Because half of 2 is 1. And now I'm going to add 1 on both sides. So I have y equals 1/2 x. Well, what do you know? all that crazy thing now looks like this, y equals 1/2 x. So that it'll be long way. So that means I need to move that x to the other side. So I'm going to, well, actually, you know what we do need to do is get rid of that fraction. So let's multiply the entire thing times 2. And the reason we multiply times 2 is because of the denominator being a 2. So now I have 2y equals x. Now I subtract x to get it on the same side. So I have negative x plus 2y. I have nothing left on that right side, so I'm going to put a 0. So my equation will... All right, here are the other ones. Go ahead and pause this and make sure you have these written down. All right, now we have an equation in standard form, so I'm going to actually go ahead and get that one going. So we have negative x plus 2y equals 1/2 x plus 5. Now I want to talk about this. So we have our slope, which is 1/2. We have our y-intercept, which is 0, 5. And we can actually find our x-intercept as well. So let's go ahead and do that. Is negative 10, 0. So for point slope, let's go ahead and use that y-intercept again. So when I go to write y-intercept again, y minus 5 equals 1/2 x. So now we can answer the question, is this a direct variation? This would be a no. All right, now the next one, yes, that's a direct variation, and we know that because the y-intercept is 0, 0, and the x-intercept is 0, 0. We could even say our slope is 8. Now, there is no fraction here, so this one's actually kind of quick to take care of. So I can subtract 8x on both sides. So when I write it in standard form, we have negative 8x plus y equals 0. Now when it comes to point slope form, because it is a direct variation, guess what? It's going to look like this. 10. So let's go to slope-intercept form first. So I'm going to add x on both sides. So now I have 2y equals x plus 10. I'm going to divide everything by 2. So y equals 1/2 x plus 5. But by substituting a 0 for y, so then we would have negative x plus 2 times 0 equals 10. So now I just divide by negative 1, so x equals negative 10. So our x-intercept equation in point slope form, that would be y, what was my 5 equals 1/2 times x minus 0. So y minus 5 equals 1/2 x.